Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
All right, what's going on, people? Day 546. I'm going to jump right into this Derek Stingley film session. Derek Stingley is at the bottom of your screen. Yellow arrow pointed at him. I'm going to show you 3 straight plays. You're not going to see me close out of anything. You're just going to see 3 straight plays of Derek Stingley doing what he does. Now, this is some 2019 tape. But this is when he was at his best. I'm going to show some 2020 tape. I'll show some 2021 tape, even though he only played 2 games or 1.5 games. But this is why Derek Stingley is going in the top 10, because of this 2019 tape. So let's pull this up. This is man coverage. He can play off. He can play press. But let's just watch here. This right here is just straight film work. Watch how the receiver comes off of here. Derek Stingley is still square. He knows that the curl is coming. Doesn't move. Doesn't move at all. Just stays there. And it also shows that he's confident in his speed, to where if this receiver turns into a double move, he's not flat-footed. As you can see right here, he's not flat-footed. His feet are not flat on the ground. So he's ready if this receiver wants to come back down this way. If he wants to stop and go, he's ready. But he doesn't. And he knows the curl is coming. And, even though the ball doesn't go there, perfect position for if the ball did go there. He's no threat by that receiver. All right, let's go forward to the next play. I'm not going to edit this. This is 3 straight plays in a row. Now Derek Stingley is a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. Lined up across the receiver. Lined up on the X. Again, watch. Press coverage. The receiver starts on the outside. He starts to give him an influence step to the inside. Goes back outside. And I'm sure this receiver in his head thinks that he's got it. But watch this. Watch Stingley's footwork right here. Not fooled. As he takes that inside step, Stingley doesn't even bite at all. He's already getting ready to go to the outside. Calmly, put some palms on him. And he's on the sideline. We're not paying attention to where the ball is going, but he's on the sideline. He's really good at this. Sauce is good at this too. But Stingley is really good at getting hands on people and just influencing where they're going to go. There's no other place he's going to go but that sideline. He tried to give that influence step inside, but Stingley just follows him. And he's face guarding him pretty much because he's that athletic. This is why he is, if Stingley did this for 3 straight years, which he couldn't because of injuries and bad coaching, which I'll get into a little bit later. If he did this for 3 years, he'd be a top 3 pick. He probably wouldn't get past the Texans. So this is the next play. I did have to make a cut just because I just had to make a cut on my end. But this is the next play as far as 3 plays in a row. And Stingley is off this time, and he's just going to just do more of the same. Make him use the sideline. The sideline is a defense's teammate. And this is a quick throw, but just calm as he's able to transition, as he's able to cover this much ground this quick and sort of a back pedal. Just really easy. And now let's look at this play right here. Back in press. Nice press. Square. This is when you pretty much redirect the receiver. And this is as good a press as you can get right here. You're square with the receiver. You're on balance. Yes, the receiver is a little bit bigger and pushes him a little bit, but he's on balance. And he's able to stay with him. So what did I talk about earlier? I talked about Stingley. Once again, Derek Stingley is giving these guys a sideline. This is the same game. And he's taking the sideline. That's all he's going to get here. So just watching the real time, top of your screen. Nice press again. Let's go. Right there. The play's over for that receiver. There's no place for him to put the ball. You got to make a Mario Manningham kind of throw to get the ball to that receiver, and he's not able to do that. Now let's check this out. Stingley is at the top of your screen again. And people just love to say this about Derek Stingley. He's not a willing tackler. He's not going to put his head in there. Well, let's just check this out. As someone who watched him for years, this is what I see on a regular basis. Just watch this in real time and tell me if he's scared to come up and make a play. So, he didn't lay a big hit on him or anything, but he's a physical corner. And with that number 7, once you get that number 7 on LSU, you're seen as a player, you got to do something big. You got to do something big. And his teammates would not have let him, LSU in general would not let him wear that number unless he took on that leadership role. And that's what he did. In 2021, he was pretty much on track to have a great season. He ended up getting hurt, but tell me that this guy is afraid and he's not a guy that makes tackles. I disagree. All right, so here. This is a pure example of what happened to Derek Stingley once he got a new defensive coordinator. It was a huge mess. Everybody on LSU's defense took a step back defensively. Everybody. And this is just a pure example of how bad and how confusing this defense was. Just watch Derek Stingley at the top of your screen, all the way at the top, the highest guy right there on your screen at corner. Just watch him drop back. We don't know who this is on. We don't know if this is on Derek Stingley. It looks like he's just playing zone. You got the outside corner. On the other side, you got him playing man. So what's going on here? What's going on here? You got 3 people on the same person. This happened all year long in 2020. You got 3 people on the same person. Meanwhile, you got an open man, busted coverage. And this happened all year long. The defense was confused. This is why I can't completely throw out the year 2020, but it has to be noted that this entire defense was not ready to play. They just weren't. That's way too easy. It's happened way too much in 20. Right here on this next play, Stingley is 24, standing right at the 40-yard line. Cornerback looking, right at the quarterback. This is just more of the confusion. More of I kind of give him credit for this play happening too, as far as not making a good play. But just check this out. They run a pick, and both corners go with the same person. And not only do they both go with the same person, but they both don't stay going with him. They both don't stay going with him. Derek Stingley trips. He's off balance as he's trying to change direction. And you have an easy walk-in touchdown. So also we know who Derek Stingley's kryptonite is. We all know that Devontae Smith, every time he played against them, owned Derek Stingley. And you can't say the same thing for Sauce Gardner. He hasn't played against the same kind of guys, but you can't say that anybody has ever done Sauce Gardner the way that Derek Stingley got done by, multiple occasions in multiple years, even in 2019 by Devontae Smith. And I can't explain it. Devontae Smith gets some kind of power boost because this is not horrible coverage. This is not horrible coverage. Smith starts on the inside, breaks that inside, really beautiful route, takes it back outside. But Stingley is there. He looks for the ball. Perfect man coverage, perfect technique right there. Actually in position to make an interception, but he just trips. And not only does he trip, you got Devontae Smith making one-handed catches at, high pointing the ball in the back of the end zone. I mean, it's just something about Derek Stingley where Devontae Smith just did not play around. And, he's in perfect position. Yeah, he kind of pushed off, but he's tripping. So, it is what it is. But as you see, he's in perfect position here until he trips and falls. And this is just more of the same right here. Stingley has the arrow pointed at him right there. This is just more of the same. It's just like against Devontae Smith, he can't show up. Now, is that a mental thing? It might be a mental thing, but it also could just be, it just could be bad luck. Peyton Manning against the Chargers always threw 4 interceptions until he got to the Broncos and dominated them. But before that, he had some issues with the Chargers. His brother Eli Manning with the Vikings always played horrible against them. But anyway, just check this out. Stingley plays this perfectly again. Sitting back in this zone. Reads the quarterback's eyes. Bryce Young makes an ill-advised throw. Or is this... Pretty sure this is Bryce Young, yeah. Makes an ill-advised throw. Stingley breaks on the ball at the perfect moment. Is right there to make the interception. And he just can't catch it. All right, so I'll get close to wrapping it up right here. Derek Stingley, again, the arrow is pointed at him at the top of your screen. And this is why I think that he's a guy who's a top 5 level pick, because he pretty much eliminates the deep ball. He's got the speed to run with pretty much anybody. He's coming off of that foot injury, and he still ran, I think, low 4.4s. It was rumored to be a 4.3 until the official time came back in. I don't think he's back to full speed yet. So just watch how he completely eliminates this route. Completely eliminates it. The receiver has pretty much a quarter of the field to work with because they're on the right hash. And Stingley is just going to just stick to this guy like glue. He does not go for that okie doke to the inside. Takes that step right with him. Is able to recover. Still is square. Still is on balance. Turns to where he's face guarding the receiver pretty much again. Shoulder to shoulder. Right there with him. Locates the ball perfectly. Right there. Right about here is where his head is turned around, but you cannot see it. But locates the ball and comes down with an interception. Completely boxes the dude out. Look at where the receiver starts out from. And this is what I mean as far as a cornerback, you can influence where someone goes. Look at all this space the wide receiver has to work with. All this space from the 40 to the sideline. That's a lot of space for the receiver to work with. And Derek Stingley gets him all the way to the sideline. He's all the way on the sideline where he has no space almost. And then he comes down with the interception. And he does this consistently. He consistently gives people not a place to throw the football to. All right, so now I get straight to what I think as far as the scouting report goes. I got him back at number 1 as far as corners go. I look back at that 2019 tape. I took into account of what happened in 2020. You look at other guys, and, for LSU for 2020, they all took a step back. I have to take that into account. And then I have to take into account how he looked in 2021. And he looked good in 2021 before he got hurt. He looked good at that point. He came back off of that injury, had a decent pro day, still ran in the 4.4s. At that point, he has the green light. He's back at number 1. I had Sauce as number 1. But after all of these things, after really taking that deep dive again, he's back at number 1 for me. The physical tools, I really can see this guy. And this is hard because I see this guy as, the number 2 or number 3 best corner of all time. But I can see this guy being a Revis type of player. And not just because he wears 24. I can see him doing that because he runs with guys. He makes people run where they don't want to run. He gets his hands on people and influences, what they're going to do. And, he has all the physical tools. He has the ball skills. He's able to locate the ball in the air at a high level. And I just think that this is a guy that you cannot afford to look past because of a very questionable bad season where everybody on LSU was playing bad. So, you guys let me know what you think of Derek Stingley. He's my cornerback 1. If you're looking at rankings overall, I still have Thibodeau as my number 1 player in the draft. I'm not sure what I said when I actually did the video, but right now, Thibodeau's number 1. Kyle Hamilton's number 2. You might throw the tackles in there, but Derek Stingley, I think, would have to be number 3. And then, you look at other guys, Aiden Hutchinson, he might be up there at number 2, actually. But I definitely see Derek Stingley in the top 4 players in this draft. And I think that if you're a team like the Giants and you're considering corner, you take them. If you're a team like the Texans who you can use everything, I think you definitely think about taking them. But Derek Stingley is going to be a very good corner in this league. I see a slam dunk pick. So you guys let me know what you think of Derek Stingley again. And do you want your team to draft him? If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.